So the Asian Human Services, I have you down as you're doing the TABE test and you guys have it in-house.
Yes.
Is that correct? Perfect. BCS, you guys are doing the TABE and it's in-house?
Correct.
Erie TABE in-house? Metropolitan TABE and it's in-house?
Correct.
OAI is TABE and it's in-house. Peoria Public Schools, where are you guys doing?
Yes, we're also doing it in-house.
Okay, perfect. So it's TABE test. And you guys are using 11 and 12, right?
Well, for Peoria Public Schools for this school year, we pre-tested on the 9-10, so we're going to have to post-test with the 9-10. But then for the students that come for the next school year, we will be switching to 11-12.
Okay, and you're going to have them tested by July 1st, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to actually have it done before May 15th because they'll all
perfect.
graduate.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then I have skills down. You're doing the CASA and it's in-house. Is that right?
That's correct. We do that here.
Perfect. Okay. So anybody that's using TABE 9 and 10, I know I sound like a broken record by now, but just make sure you are testing your students prior to the pre and post test, prior to the July 1 start date, or end date. All right, and we got that done. I did send everyone an email this morning about the quarterly reports that are due at the end of the month. If you guys could start working on those now. I know the first time that we submitted them was January or around that time, and it was a cluster. So if you have any questions now up until the 28th, please ask me. If you need me to go over the forms with you, I will do that. But please do not wait until the 30th and submit the forms and you're not sure about the information in there, because I have to upload everything on the 30th or it will start marking them as late. So if you have any questions for the last go around, the last time we submitted these reports, if I had to update anything on yours or we had to send them back and forth multiple times, please look at the last one that you submitted to me that I said was correct and work off of that one. Remember, we wanted everyone to try to use the same forms and just update the information. So if you have any questions about those, please, like I said, ask me prior to the 30th. I will sit down and go through them with you, but I just got to make sure that everyone is doing them correctly. So
hey, Tara, so that's due this month, April 30th?
Yes. And actually,
this is Peoria Public.
Yeah, Joseph already submitted yours.
Oh, okay. So Peoria Public Schools, you're good to go.
He is flying high. He's good.
Okay. Great. Thank you. I just hadn't seen it before since I'm new, so I wanted to make sure.
You know what I'll do? I'm going to forward you the report that he sent in so you can see it.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
There, it is in your email now.
Thanks, Tara.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Another thing that I'm going to send out to everyone right now is the provider setup sheet. The agencies that I do have it from, I have it from Skills, OAI, and Asian Human Services. So everyone else, we have to have the provider setup sheet so that we can set up your roles in IWDS. I sent out that reminder yesterday. I'm going to send it out again today with the updated form. We added an address line in there that we need for your providers because sometimes they have multiple addresses. So we added that in there. But we need those literally like today or tomorrow at the latest because those roles need to be set up in the IWDS system. For each provider or partner that you have on this grant, you need to fill out one form for each person. I'm opening it up just to make sure. So it has your grantee name, which is you, your training provider, which is whoever you're working with. Then there's a space for their address. The relationship type is a drop-down box, so you can either put if you have a contract with them, if they're a vendor for your agency, whatever, however you guys label them in the financial part. And then make sure you select the button that says funding source is 1Y for all of these. The start date, like I said, is 10/1/18, and then the end date is 3/31/2020 for these grants. And then you put the contracted amount, the amount that you actually are giving to this agency. After you do that, you will check off what they do for you guys. So if they are providing occupational skills training, then you would check that box. If they're providing mentorship, any supportive services, you would check that off as well. But like I said, we need those forms back. You probably will need some financial information, which is just the contract amount from the finance person in your agency. So make sure you get that. And then also don't forget to do one for your agency as well. So you would do how much you guys are paying yourself, you know, whatever your grant amount total is minus what you're giving the other agencies is your contracted amount. And you guys should be doing the case management, the ISS, you know, anything else that you're doing in-house as far as any tutoring or mentoring or anything like that. But like I said, we need these forms back ASAP because we got to set these partnerships up. Because what's happening is if you guys are in IWDS and you're trying to make those relationships, it's actually not going to do it because we don't have these forms back and those relationships aren't set up in the system. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay, like I said, the 3 agencies I have it from is Skills, OAI, and Asian Human Services. So everyone else, I need those back as soon as possible. And I am going to send this out to everyone as soon as we get off the phone. I just want to make sure there's missing a page. Sorry.
Sarah, sorry, till we are on the screen for the grant information, I sent it to you yesterday. Do I need to elaborate more about this in the scope, or it didn't go through?
It didn't go through because I just checked it today.
Yeah, because yesterday
I can check it right now. Hold on, give me 2 Asian Human Services. Yeah, it has your address in there, but it doesn't have your program name. You don't have your start date. You don't have your target population, what LWIA you guys would work with, which would be 7, and then the scope that tells us about your program.
Okay, probably something was wrong with the, but yesterday I fill out whole information, but no problem. I will after meeting again resubmit it.
Yeah, after you do it, send me a quick email and say, hey, just updated the detail page, and I'll go in and make sure the system actually got it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? All right. One thing that is new that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and actually, let me see how I want to do this. Paul, I wasn't showing it on the screen. Patty, I saw that you joined, and did anybody else join? So Patty, I don't know if you were on, but one of the things we talked about is we need the grantee detail page updated from you guys today.
Okay, I'm gonna I have some information, but not all of it. So
we just need the address, the program name, the start date, what target populations you guys are working with, if that's teen parents or anything like that, the scope, and then LWIA 7 is the LWIA you're working with. In the
but
scope,
I can do it just for Erie House, right?
Yeah, that's the only one you're doing it for, just for your agency.
Oh, okay. Okay, so LWIA 7. Okay, I can figure that out. That's fine.
But do you know how to get to it?
I do. I think so. I have the email that you sent too.
Okay. So you just hit the folder, which is your resource button, and then you go to Grantee Details. And where it says project,
and this is on my Illinois workNet account.
Yes, and where it says project, you're going to put Youth Career Pathways, and then provider, you're going to select Erie.
Okay.
Under the
All right,
scope,
I'll do it as soon as we get off, and if I have a question, I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. Under the scope, make sure you put in there, you know, we're going to train 20 youth in whatever construction, and they will obtain their NCCER certification.
Okay, CNC,
right.
But okay.
Yeah, all right, so we got that done. And then also, I don't know if you were on, but the provider information, I need that back from you guys today as well. So I sent that over.
Provider, that's going to do the training program.
Yep. Whoever you guys are partnering with on the project, each one has to be done for each partner, including yourself.
Okay, so we have to, all right, so that would be the school and the other agency?
So it would be one for you guys. Who's training your clients?
Wright College.
So you would do one for Wright College. Anybody else that you guys are paying out of the grant?
She said that we were going to partner with BCS.
Okay, to do what?
I am not sure about that one, but that's what I was told.
Okay, so just ask her whatever BCS is doing, you would need to do one for them too, if they're
For them too,
providing,
okay.
if they're providing any services or being paid out of the grant. So you would do a total of 3 different
yeah,
forms.
I'll get, okay.
All right. All right.
Thank you. I'll have time to work on it today, and then she had to go to a meeting with Wright today, so as soon as she comes back, I'll get in touch with her and we'll work it out.
Okay. And I'll be at Skills Everybody today from noon to 2. So if you leave me a message or an email, I'll get to it after 3 o'clock today.
No
all right. So does anybody else have any questions about just that stuff? We just need to clean up those things, and then we'll all be. I'm trying to keep everybody on the same page so that we're kind of moving as a group with our projects, and so it'll make it a little bit easier. One of the things we did notice, everybody, when you have your clients, make sure you're starting your applications in Illinois WorkNet, because I think some people are starting in IWDS, and it's causing the systems to do some wonky things. So make sure you're starting in Illinois WorkNet, have them sign up with an account. Does anybody need us to go over that portion of it? Or does anybody have any questions about how do you get started in Illinois WorkNet?
No, we were planning on just doing it as a group thing. I was gonna have we were gonna have all the new enrollees come in and do it together. Is that
That's
good?
fine.
Okay.
But I'm saying, does everybody know what buttons to push, how to get started, kind of thing?
Tara, no, it's Lupe. No.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could show us, that'd be good.
Perfect. All right, there we go.
Sarah, us too. I think we're essentially leveraging IWAs a lot heavier. So
I was gonna, yeah, we can tell in the system because when you start the application in Illinois WorkNet, that gives you your contact date. So that's why it's important for us to make sure that we are we're starting in the system.
Yeah.
Hey, Tara, and can I back up with a quick question about the training programs?
Yes.
When you were on that screen, so you need the training provider forms from us, 1 form per provider.
Mm-hmm.
But then do we also need to put that into Illinois WorkNet, or are we giving that to you and then you're putting them in?
No, they should be. Natasha, can you go to the screen real quick and go to training programs?
Or maybe they're already in there.
So when you click on the resource button, instead of going to grant details, the next one is training programs.
Mm-hmm.
And yours is going to look, and when you filter it down to Youth Career Pathway in Peoria Public Schools, it should only show you the training programs or training providers for your agency.
Okay.
It will only show
I just want to make sure they're already in there.
It will only show you the training providers for their agency anyway. Like,
okay.
Everything, but they
I think I have seen it now that you say it. There's I think we have 2 that are approved and 2 that are pending, which I'm not sure why. But,
because the 2 that are pending, remember you guys are working with Goodwill, and I can look at it really quickly. I have it up. Give me 2
and
seconds.
CPR first aid and
those are not industry recognized Peoria Public Schools. So yours are approved.
All 4?
Let me go in and edit.
I just didn't know if there was anything more that I needed to do with that, or just basically I just need to get you these provider forms.
You just need to get the form. So we have OSHA 30, which, remember, OSHA 30, everybody, is not an industry recognized credential. So although a lot of your agencies will use it as a safety course and you use it to build upon your other credentials, it is not an industry recognized credential. All right? So you can't earn, well, you can earn it, but it doesn't, it's not a standalone credential. So you guys have the carpentry, you have the NCCER in here, and you have the CPR first aid is another one that's not DOL recognized, it's not industry recognized. It's okay if your clients have it, that's great, but it's not an industry recognized credential. And then forklifting. So you have all 4, you're good to go in the system, we just need the paperwork to go with it, the form I'm gonna send everybody.
Okay, will do.
So you would do 4 different ones if they're paid out of this grant. Well,
right.
5, including yourself, sorry.
Right, yes.
Okay.
I met with my principal this morning about that, so I'll get that to you this week.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions about that? If for any reason you need to change, and this is very important, now it's bringing me to think about something else, everybody please look at your grant agreements and really understand what you guys, the agencies you said you were going to work with, how much they said they would be paid. If there's any modifications or anything that we need to do, you guys need to let us know now. So look over those, like I said, and if you're adding partners or anything like that, that's information we need to know as well. All right. Okay. All right, Natasha, you can take us on. Anybody else have any questions?
Oh, no, okay, yeah, so we were gonna go back and show them how to get to this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so very first of all, just so everybody knows, I'm gonna show you how you get to your resources. So onlyworknet.com, and up at the top, we have the new little button here, you can click partners to go to your site. You scroll down, there's Youth Career Pathways 2019. This has your link. This is one way you can get to the link to the tools. We have the webinars and past webinar information. We have partner guidance, which are articles. We have past training videos and materials. We have the full list of resources, and we have partner tool updates. So when we make updates to the tools, we post it on this area. For the full list of resources, again, these are the different articles, so you can talk how you get started, outreach, intake, service delivery. So all of these areas are articles that have links to instructions and guidance. And so if I click on intake process, for example, we have, customer completes the online intake form, it's reviewed, grantee staff, if you're scheduling it with IWDS, then basically it says the IWDS application, will be completed and certified. So there's all these different lists of instructions that are available here. So that's one area where you can find out information if you have questions. We also have like the public web page. So if you need to get to it from here, you can have that. We have some flyers that you could use if you wanted to with the youth. So this is one way to get to the public web page. I'm going to close out that. I'm going to go back over to the individual user side. So let's say you have a group of your youth in front of you. You can tell them go to onlyworknet.com. There's Illinois Career Pathways. And we have information about the program, some more information about apprenticeships. We have information about the training programs that are available. So the information that you are inputting into the system behind the scenes is populating this search. So they can click on the information and find out more about that particular training program. The next step is if they decide that they would like to be part of this program, then you can direct them to hit apply now. But up on your screen, you can have the PowerPoint that walks through. Here, I'm just going to go down because it's not letting me in this.
Quick question.
Yeah.
They have to go through that thing that says apply now. They can't hit the button at the top that says sign up to create a new account? No,
they don't need to create a new account. Try to get out of my full screen here. Oh, I did this now. I swear. There we go. So,
when I get my group,
what's that?
When I get my group of students and I want to bring them in here in the computer lab to set up their individual accounts, we have to do it through Career Pathways.
Yeah, so so just to be clear, have them, as part of hit apply now, so I understand what you're saying now. They're going to use, if they already have an Only WorkNet account, then they should use that Only WorkNet account. If they don't have an Only WorkNet account, hit apply now, and they will be prompted to create an Only WorkNet account. we highly recommend
Okay.
you go through this process because they don't have to verify. Otherwise, they have to bring up their email and verify and all that kind of stuff.
I understand.
So yeah, so exactly. So hit apply now. If they have a WorkNet account, log in. If they don't have an Illinois WorkNet account, then they can create one, and then they'll be prompted to log in and then finish the intake form.
Natasha, can I print off that, can I save that slideshow you're working in now and send that to everybody?
Yeah, I don't remember if I might have it in the, yeah.
Okay. We'll send that out to you guys today. So, I mean, I think it'll be helpful maybe to have some at the computers, Patty, for each of your clients. And then that way, as you're doing it, they have something visual to work through.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, just so that's why we included on this page is so that in the past we've had people that are, you know, completing the intake forms as a group, and so what they'll do is project this up on the screen and just, you know, have everybody like literally walk through the process at the same time. And so those are just the screen captures of what's in the intake form.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how they get into the system. And then once they are in the system, am I in training? Yes. Then once they are in the system, then you can go to your list of people. And so, okay, well, I don't know what's going on here. Test is not liking me today. I can tell you that. Okay, whatever. Anyway, you'll go to your list of people and let's see here if I can get to it a different way. Sorry about the delay. Okay, so I'm going to go to my people that have not completed the review. And I have my list of people. And I'm going to click on one of my people. And then once you do that, you can see they completed their intake form. You can go to the intake review. You can see with this person, they don't have anything done. There's also related instructions here on each of these pages. So you can click intake review. And again, like I said, something's going wonky with my test group right now, but you go to their intake review and you can complete these different, let's see if it'll let me. It's not letting me. But you can go to each of those, and so the next step after they do the intake form is to do the intake review. And as part of that, as you walk through those steps with the intake review, at the bottom is an option to send it to IWDS, and that's how you get them into IWDS. Does that make sense? Or is that?
Does anybody have any questions about that? If you do, it's more than fine. We do not mind going over the information again.
Once I register everybody.
One more time?
Once I register everybody at the same time, they won't appear under Erie House. They'll just have general accounts and youth career pathways.
No. Well, once each person should have one account. So if they already have an account, they log in with that one. If they don't, they create a new one. Once they go through the intake form and they select Erie House, they are connected to you. So then you'll be able to see them in your list.
Right. Then once they complete their intakes and we do it all together, they'll put Erie House and there I'll be able to see everybody on my list on the IWDS, all under Erie House.
When they complete the intake form, they're not in IWDS yet, because you're supposed to go through, you know, the different pieces and parts that are part of the whole intake process. You know, review their employment goals, you know.
Right.
You're supposed to collect their WIOA eligibility documentation. And then once you have all their documentation available, then you can select the option to submit the intake form to IWDS.
Okay, so it has to be completely done. It can't be like I set up accounts, like I have 20 kids come in today, everybody creates a youth career pathway account. They put Erie House. I can't have like a, they won't show me the list, even though not all their paperwork's complete.
It will show you the list.
Right?
And they're creating an Illinois WorkNet account. That and part of that Illinois WorkNet account, they're completing the intake form for youth career pathway. And so once they do that, they will appear in your list. And once, and so you select the people that are in your list, and you go to their intake review. You complete their intake review, and once you have verified that you have all their documentation that's needed, then there's an option to submit the intake form to IWDS. Once you submit that, it goes there.
Okay.
I have a question. So
I'll be able to see the accounts they create, even though they're complete.
What?
Yes?
I'm confused. What did you say?
I'm still able to see my clients' accounts, my clients' names, even though I don't have all the paperwork.
Yeah, because you still have to go through and collect it all.
Right, okay.
They'll be in Illinois WorkNet. They won't be in IWDS yet until you say that they're ready to go to IWDS, and then you submit your stuff to IWDS.
Getcha. Until complete. Okay. And verified.
Because the problem what we had with previous you know, programs is that we submitted it and it went directly to IWDS, but then they weren't able to collect the documentation, so that, you know, it was just kind of, they're hanging out there. And so we changed the process up to make sure that we have all the documentation up front, and then they're submitted to IWDS.
I get you. Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Our customers have already been certified and enrolled.
Hold on, we can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. Try it again.
Yeah, so I know several of our customers have been certified and enrolled already in IWIDS, and then we're looking at doing the Illinois WorkNet. So when they're syncing, not all of them are syncing together. So there's a handful of individuals that are certified as registrants, or certified and registered in the program, but in Illinois WorkNet, they're still not.
That's because they were supposed to do the intake form in WorkNet and be pushed to IWDS. But if that's the case, then I guess they can complete the intake form in Illinois WorkNet, and we need to know those people so Cody can go behind the scenes and associate their application, their Illinois WorkNet account with the right IWDS application.
And that's what we're talking about. It's happening because they're starting in IWDS, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So they have to start in Illinois WorkNet because that issue you'll always have that issue.
Right. Yeah. So from the next cohort on, we'll be doing that where they're starting. But I mean, I don't think everything was fully explained as far as entering in one, because we've always had access to IWIDS. So us, you know, we didn't have to go through an LWIA. So that's where I guess the confusion lied. But from now on, yes, they will be entered. Any new customers moving forward will be entered first in Illinois WorkNet, so we're not double entering information.
Tara, I have a question. Who will be person to send a request for the modification?
That will be me.
You, great. Thank you.
So let me send you some instructions on a modification.
Okay,
And
yes.
also I need to send you your scope of work. So give me a second. You'll receive an email from me about modifications first, and then give me 1 second to I have to create a scope of work for you.
Okay.
So we need one for you guys too. So we need a scope of work for Asian Human Services and Skills. Is there anybody else that thinks they need a modification? All right.
Tara, what's a modification? I'm sorry.
So once you read your grant agreement, say, at the time your organization said, we're going to work with 10 organizations and here they are, and we're going to have 50 students in the program. If after reviewing, your program, you say, actually, we only need 5 of those companies and we're only working with 25 instead of 50 youth, you would need to do a modification because we need to redo the paperwork or redo your contract. So that's why I've urged everyone several times that it's so important that you read those grant agreements, because ultimately that's what you're being graded on, or, the success of your program is being bumped up against what you guys signed off on. So I encourage the grant managers who are actually doing the work to review those, because oftentimes those grant agreements are kind of signed by either your CEO or CFO or something. And you guys that are actually doing the work need to review it and make sure that you can actually accomplish what was said in the paperwork.
Tara?
Uh-huh.
I mean it request for the modification if we have to send something for IWDS modification.
Oh, I can send you that.
Ash or Cody or who?
Yeah, you'll send that to Jim Potts. Hold on, but there's a document. There's still a paperwork for it, but I'll send that to you. I'll send that to everybody actually.
Okay, thanks.
So did you put something in, like you added a service or something that you need deleted out?
Yeah, on the beginning it was something. Now when we mentioned, I was on the sending email to Jim Potts, and I certified clients at the IWDS, and later I saw that Natasha, she knows that she press button eligibility and they go under the March first something, and those 2 days they conflicting each other. I have some cases in that. And I'd like maybe to put everything in order that I have the date of the certification same as when the button for syncing on the IWDS is pressed. Those dates, it doesn't match in some cases.
It'll match if it has the same, do you know on, which I don't know if I can get to it right this minute. Let me look at my personal account. Are you familiar? I'm going to go into something a little bit different, but I just want to show you where the button is, and my test group is not working out very well. It's not what I wanted.
It's in everyone's email.
One of the things that, if you know about the export button to make sure that the right services are being identified and put into IWDS based on the services that were selected?
No, because I'm having an issue with the ISS.
Okay. So what's your issue with the ISS besides it not syncing? That's what I'm trying to refer to.
How it's not syncing?
Okay. Is that what you're talking about? It's not syncing? Is that what your problem is? Do you have some other problem with accessing it, or?
Yeah, the access of it, because once the participants submit and create it, it's like, I know that we have to have that form signed in there, and then when we go into IWS, we create the service, but that's supposed to be in there prior to us creating the service, correct?
Correct. Very good. Yes. So are you one that, I know I've had several emails from people, but I've been in meetings nonstop, so I haven't been able to get to everybody, but did you email me that you were having trouble getting into it?
No, I emailed you about another issue.
What?
I emailed you about another issue.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll have to look in to see like why you can't get to it, but once you're in it, if you click the export crosswalk, it'll open it up, and wherever my thing is opening, it's over here. And so when you export this, it'll say the IWDS service and the service type. Now this is just my sample people in production. So it's not gonna be, you know, like what you wouldn't put these in here, but anyway, just know that you have your IWDS service, the service type, and the planned start date. And as long as these three pieces are the same as what's in Illinois WorkNet, it will automatically sync. Otherwise, we'll have to do like the manual sync, and that's fine too. But I'm not gonna get into that detail at this moment. But anyway, for starters, IWDS export, and then yeah, send me, if you could, send me a quick note and just like a screen capture of what it's giving you of why you can't get into the career plan. That'd be really helpful. Okay.
So is everyone comfortable, at least when you're starting off with your students? And Natasha's gonna send me the slideshow, so I'll get that out to you guys so you can go step by step with your clients when you're enrolling them. But does anybody have any additional questions maybe that's not addressed? Or is there any part that you're confused on when you're entering your client? It's okay to speak now, or we take silence as everybody's good to go.
Hi, Tara. It's Paul. We'll talk more about this when you come in today.
But do you have any questions? I mean, because if you have a question, maybe somebody else does. So
I think it's a part of our process flow that, you know, just I have to share it with you. So maybe why we do put it into IWIS versus, you know, the Illinois WorkNet.
But you guys have to use Illinois WorkNet first. There's no way around it, even if you have access to IWDS, because it's going to be a mess. And we were just not cleaning it up this time. You have to start your clients in Illinois WorkNet. They have to go to that link that says YCP apply.
Yeah.
On there,
so you have
to. That's the first place you have to go. Like, there's no way around it.
Okay.
Because if not, it makes everything, the system, your clients will be sitting in one system and not the other. Your contact dates will be different, and it's just a hot mess. So a way to alleviate all that is just to start in Illinois WorkNet, and then it transfers that information to IWDS.
And then is that what you're saying? It does populate in IWIS then?
Yeah.
Once it syncs up.
So that's how IWDS gets the application date or your contact date.
Okay.
It gets this information from Illinois WorkNet, and it's like, oh, okay, here's a new application. Now, after you've collected everything, really the main goal and the only thing you're using IWDS for is to hit that certify button, and then you put in there what documents you use to certify this application, if it's the birth certificate, social security card, whatever. But your goal should be to be in Illinois WorkNet first.
Okay.
And then let the system do the other stuff.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so this is Eddie again. So in the event that obviously we did it the opposite, if so Natasha and Cody can just give me a call so that we can kind of get those things ironed out, that would be awesome. Because I know I sent out an email with the 6 customers that we currently have that are okay in Illinois WorkNet, and then there's 3 others that do not have, they're not labeled as registrants in Illinois WorkNet, but they are in IWIDS. So I want to be able to clean that up so that we can, moving forward, you know, don't have this issue.
Yeah, and like I said, I know, like I said, I've been meetings nonstop. I've been trying to get caught up with some of the emails. Did you send me their WorkNet IDs? Because if you send me their WorkNet IDs, we can just, Cody will be able to find out, he'll be able to see what their application is, which one it should be connected.
Yeah, I sent the screenshots.
Okay.
WorkNet IDs is how we communicate customer information, correct? Okay.
Yes, don't put their first and last name. Do not put their last four of their social security numbers. Just use their WorkNet ID because we'll be able to look them up that way. If you feel like you can't, go around it, then if you give us a call on the phone, it's fine. Just say, hey, I'm looking at John Smith. Can you pull him up too? But over the computer, we just want to make sure we're not giving out that personal information for whatever reason if someone hacks the computers. One thing I do want to make sure I have before we get off the phone, Asian Human Services, what's the total number of students you have in your program right now, registered?
Certified 7 and 5 we are planning to certify. I had the problem originally, the class started on the March, end of the March, but school now, training provider moved to end of the April, and I'm kind of afraid to certify those 5 clients because it's still whole month. Maybe somebody can change the mind, but I have at least 5 to 6 students.
So you have 7 for sure and then 5 waiting, right?
Yes,
okay.
But I can certify them today, but the class, they will start on the end of the April, and I want to ask you for advice, what I should do.
But you have all their documents to certify them?
Yes, yes.
And did you already start their applications in Illinois WorkNet?
They are done with everything, and we prepared them for the March class, but now they prolonged for the end of the April, and I didn't certify them.
Okay, but do you guys have any other classes, like any bridge classes that they could take prior to, or anything that you can kind of get them coming into your office before class starts? Because you're worried about them just changing their minds right after you certify.
We have some activities that we can work with them, like light math, something like that, prepare them like a light tutoring before the class started.
Okay.
That means I can register, certify them, and to do some activities like a tutoring with them.
Yes, get them in the program, start the tutoring classes, and then that way they're prepared, and make sure the transportation is worked out for classes and all of that, and then by the end of April, class will start.
Okay, great.
BCS,
Thanks.
we got you down for 23?
Correct, yeah, 23 in IWIDS, yeah.
Okay. Erie, we have you down for, you guys are recruiting 20?
Yes.
Okay. Metropolitan, we have you for 7, and you're trying to certify 12 more?
Correct. They should have been certified.
Huh?
They should be certified already.
So you should have a total of 19?
Yes.
Okay. OAI, we have you for 14, and that's for in-school youth only, right? Okay. Peoria Public Schools, we have you for 15?
It should be 14 now, Tara. There's one that doesn't qualify due to income.
Okay. Skills, we have you down for 9?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any other questions?
I'm sorry. We'll check on that. It should be 8.
It should be 8? Okay.
Yeah. And the total grant is 45.
Yep. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or anything?
No.
All right. Is there anything anybody's not sure about, needs a little bit more information on? One thing I do want to show you guys really quickly, Natasha, can I share my screen really quickly?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me do something real quick.
And this is something new for your reports that are due at the end of the month.
Can you see the thing to share? I made you a co-host, so can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what I do, I logged into IWDS. On the email, everybody close your eyes. Sorry. All right. So this is the email I sent everyone right here. And you see this part that I'm highlighting. It says, under the PPR support page. So remember we did the PPR support page. This one right here. The one thing that it's asking you to do on here is do a plan. Oh, it's not working, but here, a plan versus actual report from IWDS. Everybody see that?
Yes.
So this is the cover sheet, and then behind it is going to be this report that I'm going to show you. So in IWDS, you're going to go to the reporting menu. Under grants, you're going to hit AWEA plan versus actual. That is the report that you're going to attach to that. All of these grants are under 90, and then you'll go through your actual grant number. All of these are 17635 right here. So these are all of ours. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can just pick on an agency, BCS. You can leave it as Title 1 because we're doing 1Y for youth. We're doing it for the year of 2019. And you're going to hit View Report. And then you'll open it. This is the page you're just going to hit Save and attach it to the cover sheet, okay? So you can print it out and then put the cover sheet on top and upload it however you guys want to do it, or save it if you're good in Excel. I mean, not Excel. If you're good in a PDF, you can just save it and merge the two together. But the plan versus actual report should have your clients listed on here once we get the systems in line, and it should have the numbers and totals for your grant. So again, that sheet that I sent you, the one, that's this one, use the same one, honestly, that you submitted last time, because it should have the same information. You would just hit that it's 2 sheets, because it's the cover sheet and the report page, or if it's 3, and then it's the plan versus actual report from IWDS. Of course, it won't let me go back. But I put in there, like I said, I just put in the email where you should go to get that information.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions about that? That's the only thing that's new for those reports.
Okay.
So I just put it there. It's under the reporting menu. Then you go to grants, and it's the first one, which is the WIOA plan versus actual summary. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? If you have any questions, you can play this back. Natasha uploads them very quickly to the website. If you have any questions, please play the video back, look at it, or listen to it, and then let us know if you have any additional questions. Again, those reports are due at the end of the month, but if you have any questions prior to, please call me, email me. We'll get you going.
Hey, Tara.
Uh-huh.
This is Sarah with Peoria Public Schools, and I have a question that maybe we can talk afterwards about. Once our students are certified, what are the necessary paperwork, like next steps to fill out to get our students paid, like from the grant, the school being the payer?
That is, so you would be the employer of record, so you
Yes.
need to keep timesheets. You know,
Okay. Yes.
So I don't know if you guys need to create that or something, but you need to
No,
have
we
some.
have timesheets, but I was thinking there was like an I-9, or I was thinking there was paperwork that I need to fill out for my students that are certified that would begin receiving payment from the grant.
No,
like
that's
over their
something
spring break.
Carla does, because she just puts it in our GRS system when you
Oh,
pay
okay.
them. So
I need to
you
talk
guys,
to Carla about that.
Yep, and make sure you have a clear understanding of, honestly, everybody should really work through this of what are we doing with our students? How do they flow through our program? How do they move? So if they need to go first to Sarah, make sure they, Sarah picks up timesheets every week and uploads them, whatever. But in Illinois WorkNet, you also should be putting that information in there too. So underneath your worksite placement,
Okay.
you should put that in for every client.
Like where they're placed and what their hours are and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Did I go under the wrong thing? Here it is. Worksite placement.
And you will need to work with your fiscal staff because they are your employees, and so you will need probably an I-9 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking there are several documents that I need to get working on before our spring break when our students are gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Your
This is coming
employees,
up.
so
Yeah.
exactly. You need to make sure you have all of the financial. The one thing that
Is that something you guys could email to me, or where would I find all of that necessary paperwork?
You would have to work through your office.
Yeah, we don't.
Because it's going to be based upon. Yeah, because they're your employees, so it's going to be your personnel office and your financial office for that.
Okay.
The one thing to remember though with these particular grants, because they are training grants, you're responsible for FICA and workman's comp, but you don't have to do the state tax. FICA and workman's comp.
Okay, so we need to do a W-4.
Yeah, FICA and workman's comp are the two things that have to be paid with the grant.
As far as taxes coming out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will check with our financial office and
send us an email.
started on
send
that.
us an email when you guys get that ironed out. But everybody should be doing this for every client. The work site placement. You guys should be out at those sites. You should be talking to the employer, seeing how your students are doing. You should be entering that information in here.
Yeah, we do. We check in and do evaluations, but I haven't put any of that in the.
Yeah, that should definitely
Illinois
go in here.
WorkNet.
So you let us know if it's an internship, if it's on-the-job training, if it's just a work experience. We need to know that, and then you can add it.
What would the difference be between those three? Work experience, on-the-job training, or internship? I mean, I didn't know what to call it.
Internship, you're not getting. Are you guys paying your students?
Well, we can't pay them and give them school credit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not getting paid for the majority of the time, but if they want to work over their spring break or like the first part of the summer, that's where the payment would kick in.
Okay.
Terry, we have that work-based learning document you can send out because that defines the difference between like an internship, paid work experience, OJT.
Which one? Can you send it to me really quick and I'll send it out.
Yeah, that's what our class is called, work-based learning. So I just wondered how you classify it.
Yeah,
is that
so if they're not getting paid, it's an internship. Right?
Okay.
And you can have an unpaid work-based learning position too. We'll send you out the document that explains each of them.
But make sure for your clients there that you guys are really keeping a track of like the time they're not getting paid and the time they are. So for those students that are doing it is everybody doing it over spring break?
I don't know. I think it'll kind of be up to them, and they'll work it out with them and the employer.
Okay.
We're just saying that they would have, if they qualify for the grant, that they would have the opportunity to receive payment if they want to work over spring break.
Okay. So everybody should qualify for the grant, right? So you guys shouldn't be putting anybody in the program that's not WIOA.
Right. Yeah. Just the ones that we're working on certifying is what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
There's like one or two that aren't. There's about one or two that aren't going to qualify because of income. Their parents make too much, so yeah, they would not be receiving any grant funding. But the other, 13.
Yeah.
13 or 14 that do qualify for the grant, where we were, trying to explain how this all works and how,
And also, so Sarah, if you could sit down with Carla and Michael and you guys really iron out that process, can you send Tammy and myself something really short and sweet of, this is the flow of our project, our program, just so we're comfortable with how it's flowing. And
sure.
Just so we know the flow of it. And every agency, I cannot stress enough that you guys should be doing the same thing with your clients, making sure, like, what happens when a client walks through the door? When do you ask for the paperwork? When do you introduce them into the employers and all that stuff? That stuff you guys have to iron out and have a clear plan of what you're doing with those clients. So every agency, please start doing that. All right, we are at our time. So just a quick reminder for the grantee detail page. We need that done today. Asian Human Services, Erie, and Skills. The provider information, the only agencies that I have the information for is Skills, OAI, and Asian Human Services. So everyone else, please, I sent you the provider information through email. If you could get that out to us so we can get that uploaded. Anybody else have any questions before we leave? All right, you'll get one more email from me with the information Tammy just said, the difference between the different work experiences, and then I'll also send you an email with the PowerPoint from Natasha. Anybody else have anything else?
Nope. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.